Hi there. I know, I'm surprised to be here too. This is another issue of It's Like This. It's the first one of 2026, and it's April 13th. This one's called There You Are. The longer I go without writing here, the harder it seems to get back. It's not because I have too much to catch you up on. I could send you any of my posts over the past 5 years, and they would still tell you where we are. I'm probably, like my son, even wearing the same shirt. But I spent the first quarter of 2026 in a creative slump. Part of this is because the world outside is, well, you know, as in this poem by Marwan Makul. In order for me to write poetry that isn't political, I must listen to the birds. And in order to hear the birds, the warplanes must be silent. The chaos out there is so loud that creating anything feels hard and fairly pointless, especially because some of this dumpster fire directly impacts our life. I was carrying a Save Medicaid sign at a recent protest, and someone asked me about the big, beautiful bill that passed last summer. I told them we're still anticipating the fallout, and how Hakeem Jeffries read aloud my personal plea for Medicaid on the House floor in the early morning hours of my son's birthday. Jeffries read hundreds of letters that he received from families like ours, including mine, and here's him quoting from my letter.
My son is a 25-year-old young adult with profound nonverbal autism who needs 24/7 support.
I want to interject here about describing my son as having profound nonverbal autism. His disability meets the definition of profound, requiring 24/7 access to a care provider and minimal ability to speak or low IQ, but my son is not exactly nonverbal. He can speak a few words and phrases, but since his extremely limited speech is hard to explain to the general public, I often use nonverbal as shorthand.
Our family has relied on Medicaid from the time he was 2 years old when he began early intervention services. At 3, when he was diagnosed with autism, a private health insurance denied him coverage for his pre-existing condition. Medicaid stepped in to provide health care. From that point until today, home and community-based services through Medicaid have been vital to our son's health and well-being. Medicaid also helped his school district pay for medically necessary therapies at school. Our son is thriving and healthy, and our family can support him at home because of Medicaid. That's Robin. She lives in Arizona's 1st Congressional District, represented by David Swiker. These are stories from everyday Americans who've written to us to say to this Congress, stand up for our health care, Mr. Speaker. Don't stand up for billionaires. Stand up for everyday Americans, for our health, for our safety, and for our well-being.
I feel weirdly proud of our little contribution to the historical record. It would have been way cooler with a different outcome, but maybe someday another history nerd like me will find our story on page H3153 of the official congressional record for the 119th Congress and see a little bit of what our lives were like during this maddening time. Even though I still hope to use It's Like This to write about things beyond autism, the theme song of my life right now seems to be Vance Joy's Fire and the Flood. The chorus pops into my head often. Anywhere I go, there you are. On days when he doesn't go to his day program or other activities, my son follows me around the house. Sweet, right? Except it's not that he wants to be with me exactly. He must monitor what I am doing and fix whatever I am misplacing, or he's reminding me I should be making him a snack. There you are. There you are. When my son is not physically present, he's still on my mind constantly. Aside from the everyday administrative work for his care, all day long I'm of two minds: what an activity means for me and how I could modify it so my son can access it. I think about him in every good habit I'm trying to cultivate, from exercise to healthy eating, and every bad habit I hope to eliminate, like not reading enough books and forgetting to floss. Even when I attended a recent dementia caregiver summit, my father in law has Alzheimer's, I could not stop seeing connections to autism. Turns out I already know a few things about how to interact with someone with memory loss, like using positive supports, visual cues and schedules, and simplified language, thanks to all of this autism awareness. It was a good reminder for me of all those things I'm supposed to be doing to support my kid, an adult who needs both assistance and as much autonomy as possible. In truth, when I am prompted to write what I know, autism and caregiving get top billing. There you are. I'm not sure exactly how to be a writer without writing about my son. My work for Atticus Books and Music as the editor of their newsletter is helping me experiment with that. It's been challenging and wonderful to dig into literature and explore topics in history, music, art, and science. I hope you'll check out the links in the post. It's such a fun time. But I'm getting back in the groove. In the last few weeks, I helped form a local writers group that will meet monthly. I recommitted to writing for myself a little bit every day, and I revised an old essay to submit for possible publication in a book about positive thinking. Oh, I'm positive they won't select it, but I enjoyed the process of making my writing better for the submission. This April, I've been playing with an online joke writing challenge to shake things up and commit to some daily writing. I've been posting my attempts over on my Substack notes. Here's a couple. Oh, here's a big pet peeve of mine. That woman who comes home from the grocery store with cookies or some other sweet treat for her family and then starts saying ridiculous stuff about moderation and not before dinner, and I just bought those. How are they gone already? Damn, I wish that woman wasn't me. And this one, if I had to pick one thing I would change about myself, I would say it's either my inability to make a decision or it's caring too much about other people's opinions. But I don't know. What do you think? Speaking of funny, I have a link over here for a piece I wrote 2 years ago on autism awareness. It's really fun. It's called April Adventures, and it's all if Autism Awareness Acceptance Month was a theme park. I hope you'll check it out. So, anyway, this has been a long way of saying hi. Thank you for opening your email or listening to this podcast after all these months. I hope you'll hear from me again soon. And you might want to catch the end of my written post for some links for a fundraiser my son's program is doing and a little video of me and my son dancing very briefly at a concert in the park. This is Robin Lavoie. Life around here, it's like this.